Hi, and welcome to Age of Vikings in Foundry VTT. In this video we're going to do a quick tour of the character sheet to give you an idea of what information is held where. The video was made on version 13.26 using the large version character sheet, so there's the chance that your character sheet might look different. There are three main sections to the character sheet. At the top is the header. Down the left hand side are a list of tabs, and then the bottom section displays information based on the tab currently selected. In the header section you see personal information such as the character's name, nickname, stats, etc. Some information, generally in red text, can be edited. So here we can change the character's name or the current magic points. You can edit other information once the character sheet is unlocked. And to unlock it, you click on the padlock icon at the top right of the sheet. And as you can see, there is more information now that can be edited. We'll lock it again. Just under the padlock is a question mark icon. Clicking on this will open up a wiki web page where you can find more detailed instructions and help. Still in the header section, you can see the characteristics and their values. You can click on the value to make a dice roll, but hovering over the value also gives you a tooltip telling you how to make different sort of rolls. I'll do another video on how to make the various dice rolls. You can't edit the characteristics here. We'll do that on the stats tab, which we'll look at later. Next, you have some abilities such as HP, MP, etc. And the tooltips will give you an explanation of the abbreviations. Hit points, magic points, etc. are all calculated for you, as are current hit points. In this section, you only adjust current magic points. Hovering over the move score will show you any encumbrance penalties being applied. You can also make reputation and status rolls by clicking on the relevant scores. The character portrait on the right can be changed if you click on it, and it will open up a dialogue. And finally, just under the image, you've got the character's encumbrance, current and maximum, and the tooltip shows you any penalties again. The section beneath the header displays information for the relevant tab, and we're currently on the combat tab. There are three sections to this. There is the paper doll showing hit locations, there's wounds, and then there's weapons. Each hit location shows the name, the D20 range for the location, armor points, current hit points, and maximum hit points. Clicking on the name of the hit location opens up a window which gives us more information about the hit location. And this is generally true of all items across the character sheet. Clicking elsewhere in the hit location will actually add a wound with the dialog box popping up. So you can change the wound from, say, 1 to 2. Although the hit location is defaulted, based on where you click, it can be changed. So you can now see we had a chest wound before, I've now added a head wound. So the wound section lists all the individual wounds you've had, the amount of damage from that wound, and then potentially a red blood drop icon, which means the wound hasn't been treated. You can edit the damage value on the wound from this screen, and you can double click the wound to delete it entirely. The weapons section lists the weapon you have. Clicking on the name will open the sheet for the individual weapon. Clicking on the percentage score will make a combat roll, and clicking on the damage formula will make a damage roll. I'll cover these in another video. The DM column shows if a damage modifier is applicable, and the tooltip shows the special damage that the weapon will do. You'll then see encumbrance, current hit points, maximum hit points, and an equipped icon, and finally a range if it's appropriate to the weapon. You can click on the equipped icon to toggle through basically the equipped status. The first icon is a hand, which means you're carrying it. If you're carrying the weapon, then encumbrance applies. Clicking again takes you to a horse icon, which means it's packed away, so encumbrance doesn't apply, but it's probably not too far away. You can put your hands on it if needed. And clicking again takes you to a stored icon, which is a house, which generally is used to mean it's not even with you in the local vicinity. You'll also notice just at the top right here is a running person icon. If when combat rolls are going on, you click on that, it means you're going to dodge rather than attack. Again, we'll cover that in a later video. To add more weapons to the character sheet, you either drag them from the item directory or a compendium to the character sheet. To delete a weapon, unlock the character sheet and then double click the relevant trash can icon. Now we'll look at the skills tab. So I click on the skills tab banner here and we can see the character sheet updates. We've got a list of skills grouped by skill category and then sorted alphabetically. Clicking on the skill name again opens up the detailed skill sheet. There's an experience points box, so if you tick it, it means you're due an experience check, and we'll talk about experience checks in development phase video, and you can just tick it on or off. Next to the tick box, you've then got the score. So ignoring the category score, which is a bonus you get to the skill, clicking on any of these scores will make a skill roll. And again, you've got a tooltip showing you how to make the different sorts of rolls. There are then two icons we use to choose how we display the skills. If you click on the magnifying glass, it will hide uncommon skills. And there aren't many of those, or toggle it back to show all skills. Conversely, if you want to click on the sort icon, this will remove the grouping by skill category and just list all skills A to Z. Next up is the magic tab. And again, there are three sections. The first section lists the runes. To add new runes, simply drag them to the character sheet from the item directory or the compendium. To delete a rune, unlock the character sheet and double click the relevant icon. Now, as you learn more runes, this list might become very long, so there's an icon up here which will actually just hide all the runes so you can see the list of spells. Just toggle it on and off. After the runes, you can then see rune scripts and Serda spells, and they show very similar information. They've got the name, and remember you can open up the detail sheet by clicking on the name. A tick box to say whether the spell is prepared or is active, depending on whether it's a rune script or a cider spell. A brief description with a tooltip which shows the full description. To add new spells or scripts, just click on the plus icon and this will create the new item directly into the character sheet. You'll get a pop-up window asking you to put certain information in. The next tab is the beliefs tab, and there are two sections, devotions and passions. You can drag new devotions and passions to the character sheet from the item directory or the compendium, and you can unlock the character sheet to get the trash can icons to delete the relevant items. For devotions, you can change the dedication points using the drop down. However, it will restrict what you can change it to based on the religion score. Passions operate very similarly to skills. There's an XP checkbox and you can click on the score to make a roll. In both cases, clicking on the name will open up a more detailed sheet of the devotion or the passion. The equipment tab is where we see general equipment and armour. Again, click on the item name to open up the underlying sheet. For equipment, you can change the quantity directly from the character sheet, and like weapons, you can change the equipped status. For armour, again, you've got the name, and you can drill into the individual sheets by clicking on the name. You get the hit location range it covers, the armour points, the encumbrance, which is only applied if the item is carried, any move quietly penalty, and again you can toggle through the statuses. You can create new equipment directly on the character sheet by clicking on the new equipment button. The family tab lists your family members, any thralls you own, and any farms you own. You can create new family members by clicking on the plus icon. You don't add thralls to the character sheet, you add them to the relevant farm, and then you add the farm to the character sheet, which pushes the thralls to be displayed here. Clicking on any of the names again opens up the individual sheet. The History tab lists all the history events for your character, which are usually generated through in-character creation. You can, however, add more events directly into the character sheet. To delete them, unlock the character sheet and then just double-click the trash icon for the relevant item. The Notes tab lets you record notes. Go to the top right, hover over the little pen and paper icon, click on there, and you can now edit notes and add more information. Click the save icon to close the editor. The Stats tab has a number of sections, and there are some additional sections which will be available in either development or character creation modes, but I'll cover those in another video. The first section lists the characteristics, base score, changes for age, experience or effects. It also lists the dice rolls for stats on character creation and the min-max values. If you unlock the character sheet, you can edit some of these. Effects are automatically generated along with totals. There's also an icon here, the circular icon. Clicking on it will recalculate the base scores for any skills which don't have a fixed base value, such as jump or dodge. You've also got the character's reputation and status, again built up from base score, history and experience. You'll also see there's the character species and homeland, which are covered in more detail in the character creation video. While the character sheet is unlocked, you can change the character's current social rank, and whether the character sheet is locked or unlocked, you can change the number of L's the character has. Finally, in the bottom part of this tab, you can see a list of active effects currently on the character. So we see the item it comes from, the name of the effect, the amount of the effect, and dark black icons mean it's active. If it's greyed out, it's not active, but the effect is still there on the character. It's all determined by whether the item is equipped or not. Finally, if you're the GM, you'll see the GM tab sheet. You can add GM notes here in the same way as character notes, but you can also make a number of adjustments, hit points, magic points, armor points and healing rates, which if they're changed will adjust the calculation of the maximum hit points, etc. That's it for this video. I hope you found it useful.